Hi, Victoria. Okay, Joe, are we doing this?
We are doing this. We are live.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to Wisdom for Our Children. As a father of three, I want to share as much knowledge as I can with my precious children, teach them the lessons that encourage them to follow a journey that speaks to their soul. And I know I cannot do this alone. And to achieve this goal, I must lean on the experiences of others. Today, I get to chat with my amazing friend, Kelley Cabalero. I hope
Oh,
I'm
he
saying
said it right.
I
He
did.
said it
All
right.
right. All right. Not only is she a friend of mine, she's a single mom, an entrepreneur, a self-love coach, a confidence builder coach, a divorce coach, and a future best-selling author. She's about to drop her new book called The Selfish Bitch Bible, and we're going to dive into that today. Kelley, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
Why are you nervous?
Because this book, first of all, was a big deal for me, and it was very personal. And I am the type of person where, like, I do not really indulge my super deep personal stuff. I mean, Joe, you know me very well. I don't really have a filter, but I do, when it comes to my personal stuff and my struggle after the divorce and just being a single mom in general, like letting all those things out it was pretty hard, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm nervous about reading from that and exposing myself to people and
Yeah, I'm excited. You shared a little bit of the book with me, and I read some of it this morning. And it's funny it's not too often that your friends are authors. So it's very interesting reading the book and kind of hearing your voice and trying to put myself in a situation where I'm understanding what you've been going through. And
yeah.
I know, for those of you who know Kelley really well and who know me, Kelley and I have a really good mutual friend. I think like both of our youngest friends got married, and Kelley and I became friends by default and probably like each other better than we like those friends. Just kidding, Jackie and Dan. I love you guys.
I think we're more alike than anything, and it's pretty funny in that way. We're loud.
Exactly, very loud. And
that's Joe. See, we're doing a live podcast. Go ahead, Joe.
So let's touch on what you're doing now in your career and kind of how the situation led up to you. You know, in the part that I read, you talked about living your life through someone else's goals, and how this is kind of, now you're divorced, single mom. You kind of hit rock bottom as you had to step away from that relationship and then move into your parents' home. And I'm a big proponent in doing what's best for you. Doesn't matter what the situation is. And I think that a lot of people, if they could put their pride aside and take that step and live with their parents again, they could set themselves up for really good success in the future. And so maybe,
think so.
Yeah, I do. I really do. So maybe talk about this, about how hitting rock bottom really helped you set the stage for where you want to go now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, it was a huge pride thing. So like I'm people who know me, I'm going to do this on Instagram. You guys know me a little bit. I'm a little prideful. So yeah, I mean, I lived my life 6.5 years. I was married, for people who don't know. And I basically lived for somebody else. And when I had to make that switch over, it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, I knew I was doing the right thing and I was setting myself and my children up to do the right thing. But it's one of those things where you're just like, shit. Oh, can I swear?
You did.
Okay. Sorry. But I was just like, is this really what I'm doing? Because I was 29, right? And I was like, you don't think when you get married, I mean, you're married, and you don't think that you'll ever have to start over again. And I would never wish that on anyone, Crystal. I know you're watching. But I know that you would never, you never put your mind in this like frame that you have to start over all over again. And I literally left my marriage, and you can ask our mutual friends. I left with my cell phone and my children's clothes and my clothes, and that was it. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a dime to my name because I was a stay-at-home mom. So it was a huge pride thing for me and an ego thing, but we made it work.
Mm-hmm. You know? so when you kind of, like, when you make that decision, because I've had conversations with people who've done this before,
mm-hmm.
and when you get over that pride thing, when you really dive deep into that situation, how much do you think that like letting go of that mindset of like, oh, I'm too proud to move back in with my parents, or, you have a lot of negative self-talk in that first chapter, but it doesn't mean it's true. It's just the way you see yourself. At what point does it take you to get through that and kind of put you back on the uphill instead of being on the down?
I don't think there's a point with that, Joe, because I think that there's still days I have, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Like, my kids are currently upstairs and I'm like, don't say a word. But then I'm like, scarring them from like attacking them like that, There's never a time where you don't stop negative self-talk. It's the point of when you stop listening to it. You know what I mean? We can talk all that stuff, but it's at the point where you're just like, hey, I can hear you, but like, you're not doing anything for me. Like, I'm still on my path. I'm still going to skip down my road. I'm going to look cute doing it. Like, it doesn't matter, And I think that's it. I don't think there's a point where it's like I don't think it ever stops. I think we're critical, right?
Let me pivot that question then. So how did you train yourself to not listen to the self-talk and start listening to the belief in yourself?
Oh, you're hitting me with the hard questions. I think I'm still a work in progress. Like, I think that, I think there's days like I have days where I break down. I have days where I, hate the way my legs look in something, or I hate what I'm doing, or I get frustrated with my job. But I think I don't know. I think I'm easy on myself, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that I've trained myself, because I think I'm still doing it. Yeah. And I think that forever, women in general, I think we're just forever like a work in progress. Like, I don't think that anyone has it figured out like completely out. And if they do, like, I would question them,
Yeah, I think, women, I believe, but I don't know because I'm not one. But I also think men too. I think we put on that tough bravado of, we're always secure and stuff like that. But men we're just weak little pussies too sometimes, And I think the biggest thing I learned for myself was, when you fall off the wagon, how soon can you get back on it? And I think that's the same thing as when you're talking about self-love and self-talk. You're like, oh, I don't like my legs in this. And you're like, okay, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, you're better than that. And I think the sooner you can move on from those, it's important. And I have a bunch of questions that I want to lead into about the book, but why don't you pick like your favorite paragraph and read that out to us? Because I'm going to dive into the next question right away. I'm basically, all my questions come from that from the book that I read. So I want people to hear what we're talking about before I go into it.
Okay. Well, I will probably start. I'm sure you're going to want me to read a couple things here and there, but something I didn't send you, so I'm going to throw you for a little ride here.
All right.
So in my book, something I preach about, and for those of you who do know me, I'm talking to my IG people here. I am a very selfish person. I own it. It is who I am. So I'm going to read you guys just a little excerpt. So it goes, being selfish is a lifestyle. It's deep, powerful, and spiritual on so many levels. Open your mind and believe that you can. This is selfish. This is harmonious. This is growth. Use it, learn it, own it. This is you. And the reason why I picked that as one of my favorite things that I wrote was because I think in order for anyone, whether it be female, male, or whoever else, I think you really need to live for yourself, and you need to live selfishly, because I think that when you start sliding off of that path and you start listening to, I like to call it noise. So it's other people's opinions. Okay. And you listen to all of that and you just get swerved out of what your goal is, I guess. So that's why I would pick that to be my favorite thing, because I think it's something to own it and be it.
I can hear the emotion in your voice when you're talking about that little piece. I have to ask you a question on that. Who are you talking to when you read that?
Me. It's so, I love that you just asked me that. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. I'm not even kidding right now. Joe. Shit. Okay. Oh, my hair pulled. I have Kleenex. So I legit, sorry, I'm having a moment, guys. Jesus. So I wrote it to me, and I wrote this book to me. And I wrote it because when I went, sorry, I'm trying to like compose myself. When I went through my divorce and I went through all of this shit and just the last fucking, oh my God, like 8 years of my life. As much as my friends were there for me and they were amazing, I couldn't have a better like squad around me, but I felt alone because no one was going through what I was going through. And I wrote this because I didn't want anyone to feel that way ever. I made it a point, like, I want people to know that this way that you're feeling after a divorce and after becoming a single mom and, you know, having your own business or doing this or doing that, like, it's okay to throw yourself on the ground and have people pick you up. And it's okay to cry yourself to sleep sometimes. It's going to fucking happen. You know, like it's not all unicorns and rainbows that you see on social media. That's literally not real life, right?
Yeah.
So when I wrote that, it was so important to reassure myself that I was going to be okay, because I knew that I could take this life and I could like live that way and just force myself to become this person. So yeah.
So like the title of your book, you know, The Selfish Bitch Bible. Correct me if I'm wrong. This really isn't about like, it is about being selfish, but when I hear you say I'm selfish, I hear you saying I'm taking care of myself first. I'm going to put myself first to be the best version of Kelley.
Yep.
And then by doing that, that allows me to be the best person for my children and my future spouse and the rest of my family. And it also allows me to be a better friend. Is that correct?
Yes, and I do think that people tend to get selfish and you know, self-absorbed, very confused, because I'm not a self-absorbed person. I do not condone that way of living at all. I do think that being a selfish person and living for yourself is exactly that. Putting yourself first.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between being selfish, but for the benefit of other people around you. And as being selfish just for doing what's best for yourself. I think there's a huge difference.
That's it. And I think it's a lot of it too is like, even as a mom, like if we can put it in mom terms, right? If I'm not okay, how are my kids going to be okay? If I'm not taking care of myself, how am I going to take care of them? Right? Yep. Like it's a simple formula. Like I always put myself first. And I know to some people, especially, I always get the worst slack from like people who aren't parents. I'm like, oh, that's the worst. How could you like put yourself before your children? And it's like, if you had them, you'd probably know. Because if I'm not okay, I'm not going to get my ass out of bed to help them. So, you know, we all have days.
So one thing you talk about in the book is surrounding yourself with the right people and being around people that are lifting you up and not dragging you down. If there's anyone you want to shout out, you're more than welcome to. But let's talk about, like, you know, I call it your squad. You know, the saying is like that you said, you know, show me your 5 friends and I'll show you your future. I think that were the words that you wrote.
Yes.
What has your group and your squad done for you?
Holy shit, what haven't they done? Oh my God. I'm so grateful. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have such a cheesy smile right now. Because like my people that they're on here right now, I'm so lucky. I'm so loved and so appreciated and so accepted for who I am. And that to me is so important. If your friends do, listen to me, people, if your friends don't accept who you are, they are not your friends. Like I'm so blessed. I can't. And it's, your people are so important, and you'll know those people. Like I said in my book, there's people who will surround themselves or who will come around you, but they're not your people. And
let's go into that for a second.
Yeah, let's do it.
Give us an example of that, because it feels to me that you've had that situation before. So give us an example of something that you've dealt with in that area.
God, Which one?
Pick one.
Oh man, okay. You don't need names, right? I don't want to.
No, I don't want names.
Okay, good.
I don't want names.
Man, I think a lot of it was more when I was younger,
Mm.
and I think there was a time in my life where, I was going to the club and I was throwing out money and we were having fun. But guess what? As soon as that stopped, or I remember as soon as I got pregnant with my son, or even my wedding. Actually, I'm going to throw this back. We're going to go back.
Okay. Rewind.
So at my wedding, okay, there were certain people who didn't come due to certain circumstances. It is what it is. But there were people that didn't come, and it was because I was getting married, because they were like, oh, well, this girl's fucking boring now. She's getting married. Like, it was like there was no longer a money train, or there was no longer, I was not of use to them or something, right?
Yeah.
So in regards to that, yeah, like there's people who, when there's money around, people are right there for you, right? But as soon as you stop, and I'm a giver, this is my problem. My Jen will yell at me somewhere in here. I'm such a giver. Like, I think I give more than I ever should. And I've always been that way. But people throughout my life, especially when I was younger, they really took advantage of that, right? But you learn to weed those people out, Joe. Like, this. You learn you weed people in and out of that. And that's why they say circle small the older you get, right?
Yeah, I think like one thing that COVID has taught me is I don't need as much as I thought. There's my needs and my wants have shrunk in this last year and a half of what really makes me happy and who I need to be around. And even my circle of friends, who's around and who's not, and who takes the time out for you important. And I think like when you have your first child, you really see that. When that first kid comes and those friends are still around, some girlfriends or guy friends are just like you said, they're still going to the club. They don't care. You don't have those same timelines anymore. And some people just don't get it. And I tried to have this conversation with my daughter who does competitive dance, and there's a team of 22 girls. I'm like, you're not all going to be friends in 5-10 years. Some of you are going to get boyfriends and move on and go to school.
Yeah.
But some of you will be really good friends. Like our mutual friend, Dan and Jackie, we've been friends. Like Dan and I have been friends since we were 8 years old.
Jack and I, it's 18 years now.
We don't talk for 2-3 months and we call back and just start making fun of each other again. It's just one of those things that those are the friends that'll always be there for you. And I think that, those are the lessons I'm trying to pass down to my children is try to understand those relationships when they're real and hold on to them and do it.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to have like good people around you. It's so important. And any type of success you want, like surrounding yourself with the right people is like definitely key.
Yeah, I think like-minded people who have the same attitude and drive and the same interests. And if I've heard the saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need
to find a new room.
Yeah, and that's why you and I stopped hanging out. Just kidding. Okay, let's read another paragraph and let's dive into some more questions. Where
do you want me to go?
Go to your next favorite spot.
My next favorite spot?
Yeah, you only gave me the first chapter, so.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm going to go into the first chapter here.
Okay.
Okay, guys, on IG, I hope you're ready. I'm officially going to read from the first chapter of my book.
Yay!
I've never done this before, so be nice.
And her reading's atrocious, so be gentle.
Shut up. Okay. So I'm going to stick to what we're talking about right now, to be really honest. I don't want this to... My son is harassing me on a live. This is lovely. Single mom.
Come say hi. It's Wisdom for the Children. The show's for you. Come on in, say hi. Is that Santiago?
Yeah, it is Santiago.
Come on in.
He's harassing me for chicken nuggets. Yes, you can have those. Bye. Okay, sorry guys. Fucking hell. Okay, so I am going to read. Okay, so we are touching right now on keeping the right people around us, correct?
Correct.
So I'm going to start probably around my third paragraph. Do you have it in front of you, Joe?
No, I can pull it up if you want.
Oh, I don't mind. Anyways, okay. So guys, you ready? Advice on, we have a question from the audience. I like this. Advice? Well, I can't read. Good thing I'm not reading my book right now. I'm dead. Advice on anyone hesitating to write a memoir. My question is, why are you hesitating?
My answer is no. Just do it. Doesn't matter.
Literally what he said. Just do it. You just got to do it. You just don't think and you just do it. And it somehow works out. I don't even know.
Asking that question.
Mixed Chick 97. I don't
Mixed Chick. If you're struggling to write it, you could always write it down in point form and then get a copywriter from Fever and get them to do it all for you. And that way, like it's your writing, and then it's just they're putting their notes in for you. You can probably get that done for a few hundred.
She says, fear of judgment, but I want to leave something behind. That was a huge thing for me too. Legit. You know what? Just do it. And Joe brought up a really cool point. So write it in, what did you say, point form? And then there's something called
Fever, Fiverr, Fever.
Joe can't read. Don't listen to him. Okay. So I'm going to read from my book. Okay. So now you want to know how to separate the real from the fake. It's as easy as staying true to your wants. Set goals, see who encourages you. Focus on your dreams, see who doesn't complain that you don't hang out anymore. And see how many times we allow others to fuck up our path to success. You'll notice it too. Oops, so many times. I can't even read my own book. See, guys, it doesn't matter. Just write it in point form. So set goals, see who encourages you, focus on your dreams, see who doesn't complain they don't hang out anymore. So many times we allow others to fuck up our path to success. You'll notice it too. I think we really just try to consistently make excuses for other people because we don't want to believe that someone else wouldn't want to see us happy. But it is very real and very destructive. How many times in a relationship have you deliberately stopped or sidetracked your very goals to only put your partner's dreams before yours? And let me stop you right there before you go off and start muttering under your breath. When I am in a committed relationship, I am my man's biggest fan, but there is no way in hell I will steer off my path to appease his. This is a big no-no. It's not a good look, and it definitely is not going to put you in a position to become successful unless you plan to live off your partner. And if that's the case, you might as well put this book down because it's not the lifestyle I am preaching here. So I will stop at that sentence.
So many things I can go into right now.
Go.
The first thing I want to say is that I think that when you say that's not the life I'm looking for, it's not the life you're looking for, but you're not saying that that's not the life for someone else. Because a stay-at-home mom could be with her kids. Yes. The man works like a traditional role, the pink and blue roles, like that's okay. And like, I take out the garbage, but I also love to do the dishes, like my dream is to do the dishes and have like a nice big panoramic view up by the ocean. That's like what I'm working towards right now. I think that like you're 100% right. And it goes both ways for men and women that you have to be continuously moving and progressing forward to something you like and love doing, because if you're not, you're soulless and you're losing that.
And you become stagnant, right?
Yeah.
I do want to make something clear, though, just for everyone who will potential future listeners and people listening now. I don't ever judge people. So when there's certain things in my book, I cuss in my book, I go off on certain little things, but I don't ever shame anyone else's lifestyle. So when I say, let's stop right here, if this is the lifestyle you want, then you should stop reading my book. It's only because in my book, I'm preaching to go after the things you want. It doesn't mean that if your goal is to be a stay-at-home mom, then God bless your patient soul. Like, I mean, you're amazing to do so. And if that's your dream, then so be it. Like, live your life unapologetically, right? So yes, that's it.
All right. You said something about people encouraging your goals and people not complaining about when you can't hang out anymore.
Yes.
Talk to me about how your schedule changes when you're attacking those goals and trying to achieve them. Like, how much time less do you have to put to the nonsensical things you're doing? Because there's habits and traits that you have to build to become successful. And, we're all learning.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here saying, like, I'm sitting in my basement with like a lamp here. I'm not some influencer on Instagram with a blue check mark. I'm just I'm just a dad trying to build something for his kids to come back and listen to when they're older. But let's talk about like the time and the value of time that you need to put in to achieve what you're trying to achieve right now.
Well, I think that when I'm really on my shit and I'm really pushing myself, I feel like I kind of ghost a little bit. And then people who are kind of on the same grind as me, I feel like those people, we figure out ways to see each other, right? I do take time to have downtime. So like when this whole book this has been like 6 years in the making, to be really honest. So I've had a lot of time, but I think that there's times, and I think as I like to call myself an artist, because when it comes to hair and all the other things that I work in, I think as an artist, we go through phases. And by that, I mean, like, for like a 3-week period, you could be like, you're just going crazy. You're just on your goals, on your goals, on your goals, on your goals. And then you kind of get uninspired. You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to slow down a little bit. And I think with my book, that's how it was. It was like, I go through like rampages where I'm writing like a savage person, not talking to anyone. And then I just kind of stop, because I'm just like, hey, I think I can only, if I'm being really honest, I think I can only write when I'm angry. So like, I think it's something, as a child, like having a diary, I'd be angry, and it's like, I would get some crazy shit out on paper. Like, I would not want to find my old diaries. I really wouldn't.
Well, actually, we have them here.
Oh my God. I'm dead.
Thanks, Jackie, for providing us with these stories.
Oh my God. She probably would too. Jesus. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I think one too, like, I recently, like, I was laid off at the beginning of the pandemic, and I went to a new job and a new career working with a lot of creative people. And the one thing I noticed too, it's like, as you start to get busier in the business that you like, because I love the job I have now, and I literally went to the company and I was like, I want to work here, and I worked for free for 7 months during the pandemic to get hired on. And one thing I noticed about the CEO, who's just super busy, is that you start to make friends with your business partners because they're building you up, and you have the like interests, and you're a makeup artist and a hairstylist, correct? You do both?
I don't do makeup. Thanks for doing your research. No, I'm kidding. I do. I'm just trying to fuck with you.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So you're on a lot of photo shoots that are those people become your business partners, right? So like, you're on film sets, you're on photo shoots, and these are the same people that they're trying to build. Like, they're building their business, you're building a piece of yours, and then you guys cross-pollinate because the work always goes together. So I think that as you start to get busier and busier and do things, like, you and I are good friends, but we're not hanging out, we're connecting now because of the podcast. So little things like that, I think that some people don't understand, that just like, have a job, go home, do their extracurricular, and then repeat it. A lot of entrepreneurs are trying to build something, and then they're sectioning it off and trying to add to what they're building. Yeah.
I think that, working alongside creative people is it's so, I don't know, for me it's important, because there is times that and not even just in hair, but there is times like I'd be working alongside people who are not necessarily motivated or not in a creative headspace. And again, as an artist, we're like a roller coaster, right? So I understand that, but when you have the lack of creativity, it's definitely not something that I think is a good thing to surround yourself with. Like, I think even if you're not an artist, or you're not a writer, or in the beauty industry or insurance, I don't know. Like, if you're just not in your proper headspace and have people inspiring you in your circle and alongside you in your job, you're not in the right field,
Yes. I'm going to wrap up shortly. Is there anything else you want to touch on before I go into my last question with you, Kelley?
I hope this is a really dirty question. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I'm just really excited for me to finally finish up this book and get it out. And I really am so thankful for all of I don't know. I've had so many random messages anytime I post anything about it, and it's just been a lot of support. So it's nice. Even people that I like don't know are messaging me, and they're like, "I'm so excited to read this. Like, it sounds amazing." And I just hope that through this book that people don't feel alone. Like it was my goal to make sure that other women felt supported.
Awesome.
So that's where I'll stop. I'm kidding.
All right. So I like to end the show with kind of pulling it back to wisdom for our children, wisdom for our younger self. If you could go back to a time in the past and chat with yourself, what age would you want to chat with yourself? And what wisdom would you share with your younger self?
Oh man. What age? Oh, I don't know, man. I was such a pain in the ass. I have no idea. Honestly.
How old are you now? 24?
Yeah, I'm 24.
Right. We got a few years to pick from.
No, I'm kidding. I'm actually 35. I look great. Shout out to my Botox lady. Thank you. No. Yeah, I think I would say 29.
29, okay.
When I got divorced.
Like right before or like right as it happened?
Right as it happened.
Okay.
And man, I got to be real. Like the divorce, as much as I have so much, and I'm not hating on my ex-husband. I have so much love for him. He drives me insane, but I do have so much love for him. But the divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I think I would just go back and be this person for that person, if that makes sense. I'm so proud of who I've become and all the shit I had to endure to get here. Like I would literally go back to me getting my divorce and just sit there in that shit. I would wallow in that shit with myself, but I would be my motivating self for me. Because I think I really needed this person. So shout outs to me.
All right. One last thing. What message would you like to leave for your children?
For my
would you like to let them know? Just a little hint if they ever decide to watch the show when they grow up. That's my mom. She's cool as F.
I am a cool mom.
You are a cool mom.
Yeah. For my kids, a message I would leave for them.
Speak directly to them right now when you look at this camera.
I'm looking at my little baby girl right now. She's upset. I would tell my kids that I am the luckiest mom in the world because they are the coolest kids. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you, boo-boo. Do you want to come on camera?
Come say hi.
Come say hi. Come here. I'll let you come for the last minute. She's sad, y'all. She's sad. Come sit with mommy. I would tell my kids that I'm so proud to be their mom. Come on. Don't be shy. Come sit down. Your little hoodie on. Say hi, everybody. Hi. That's my little girl. I would tell them that I'm so proud to be their mom. And I would tell them that no matter what anybody tells you, just do what you need to do. Always be kind and respectful, but always follow your dreams. And I think that whatever you do and whatever you put your heart to, that you can do it. Because I think it's important to love yourself first. Okay? Doesn't mommy always tell you that? Always love yourself first and to just do whatever makes you happy.
Amazing. Amazing.
And if anyone breaks my daughter's heart.
So serious there. No jokes.
Definitely. Well, thank you,
everyone. Do you have anything else, Cal, before I sign off? Do you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
If for the podcast, you can find me on Instagram at prettylegends_ at the end of that. On Facebook, it's Kelley Cabalero. Kelley with an EY because my parents were special. No, honestly, I'm going to stay on my Instagram live, guys, so don't go anywhere. But Joe, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you for joining the show today. That was my friend Kelley Cabalero, and I am Joe Doherty, your host. Stay wise.
Thanks, Joe.